Hello, good morning. Today we're going to talk about making a very simple single channel Lora gateway out from these boards here that I have. The development board that I have just received is basically identical to the Heltec ESP32 Lora development board. This one is actually manufactured from TTGO. Pin mapping wise, the boards from the Heltec and this one are identical. Probably the only thing that you would notice is the inverted F antenna from this board, while that board has a surface mount antenna, see here, for the Wi-Fi. Okay, so this board that I have is operating at 915 megahertz, which is the correct frequency if you live somewhere in Southeast Asia. If you live in some parts of Europe, you probably might need 868, or in the US 915. So that's the very first thing that you would consider when you are trying to purchase these boards from the internet. I actually had two of these boards, but the other one got damaged on the way while it's being shipped. The LCD was cracked, and the USB was actually nudged quite a bit. It actually fell off while I opened the box. So I would think, build quality wise, these boards are not as good as the Heltec one. So if you're ever in the market and if you ever want to shop one of these, I would suggest you get the Heltec board rather than these things here. Although this one comes with an antenna, with an attached antenna with a UFO connector and some other things like a connector for the GST for power, I would still suggest you get the Heltec board rather than this thing. Okay, so I only have one of these now, and what I really wanted to do is to make use of this board as a gateway. But since I only have one of this now, what I did is I actually wired up a normal ESP32 board with an attached radio chip, and the pin mapping that I adopted is actually similar to this one, such that if I want to program this one with the same firmware, I can also apply it to this because the pins are mapped the same way as this Heltec board. Okay, so how do we make this thing operate as our gateway? Okay, fortunately, there's already a lot of projects out there in the internet, and one project that I saw was actually this thing here. This thing was actually, okay, this one is from GitHub. This thing was initially adopted to an ESP8266, but it has been ported to the ESP32, which is good for us. And I will try to discuss later on how we can adapt this code, download it to your computer, load it up in Arduino, and modify some of the parameters so that it will work on this particular board right here. Okay, but I'm not going to use this board. I'm going to use this board as our Lora node, and this thing will be our gateway. So it's still the same board, it's just that you have all the different components separated. And operating frequency 915 megahertz, 915 megahertz. So let's go ahead, load this code from GitHub into Arduino, and let's see how we can modify it so that it will become our single channel gateway for Lora. That's it. Thank you, and we'll proceed to the next video.